The old house groaned around me, a living, breathing entity battling the monstrous storm outside. Rain hammered against the windows, a relentless, furious drumming that drowned out every other sound save for the frantic, terrified beat of my own heart. I'd sought refuge in these city outskirts for the solitude. For the quiet, I needed to finish my horror novel. Now the quiet was gone, replaced by a cacophony of wind and water, and the very lines between my fiction and my reality were dissolving into a terrifying blur. The power had died hours ago, plunging the house into a suffocating, absolute darkness. My only companion was a single, sputtering candle, its feeble flame a pathetic defiance against the encroaching gloom. Each flash of lightning outside was a stark, momentary revelation, painting the familiar furniture in grotesque, fleeting shadows that seemed to writhe and lunge from the corners of my vision. The wind, a banshee's shriek, seeped through every crack, carrying with it the damp, earthy scent of the storm and something else, something cold, ancient, and undeniably foul. My fingers hovered over the cold, dead keys of my laptop, the screen a black mirror reflecting my own pale, terrified face. I tried to write, to escape into the world I was creating, but the words wouldn't come. Every creak of the old timbers, every groan of the house settling, was magnified 100-fold in the oppressive silence between the thunderclaps. My imagination, usually my greatest asset, had become my worst enemy, conjuring unspeakable things in every shadow. Then, I heard it. A faint scratching, rhythmic and deliberate, coming from the floor above. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't a branch. It sounded like something dragging, something heavy and uneven, moving across the floorboards of the guest bedroom, directly above my study. My breath hitched, a cold knot tightening in my stomach. I told myself it was just the house, old and settling, but the sound was too distinct, too purposeful. It grew louder, closer, moving from the guest room to the landing, then slowly, agonizingly, down the main staircase. Each creak of a stair was a hammer blow to my chest. I squeezed my eyes shut, willing it to stop, but the dragging continued, punctuated now by a soft, wet thump. 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 It was descending, step by agonizing step. A sudden, violent gust of wind rattled the entire house, and the candle flickered wildly, threatening to extinguish itself. In that fleeting moment, as the lightning illuminated the room, I saw it, a shadow, impossibly tall and thin, stretched across the study door, briefly obscuring the faint light from the hallway. It was gone as quickly as it appeared, swallowed by the darkness. The scratching and dragging stopped. The thumping ceased. The storm outside seemed to mute itself, holding its breath in anticipation. The silence that followed was the most terrifying sound of all. It was a silence that screamed of presence, of something waiting just beyond the threshold. And then, from directly outside my study door, I heard a soft, guttural sigh. It was wet, ragged, and undeniably close. My blood ran cold. My hand, slick with sweat, gripped the candlestick so tightly my knuckles ached. Every instinct screamed at me to move, to run, but my feet were rooted to the floor, paralyzed by a fear so profound it felt like a physical weight pressing down on me. My breath hitched, a silent scream trapped in my throat. My eyes, wide and unblinking, stared at the dark wood of the door, knowing, with a chilling certainty, that whatever was on the other side was no longer just a figment of my storm-addled imagination. It was real. and it was waiting for me. The storm outside raged on, but the true horror had already found its way inside. Click, clack, click, clack. The final words appeared on the screen. I leaned back, a shiver tracing its way down my spine, and stared at the title of the completed document. Chapter 37, the final chapter. Done.